If it wasn't for the Most High who was on my side, man, ain't no telling where I'd be.
Mr. Wilson with another.
Can't nobody tell me nothing different. The Father's been good to me.
So good to me.
Yeah. Wave your hands if you feel me. I'm a witness. Yahweh's been good to me.
So good to me.
Every morning that I rise, I thank Yahweh that I'm living. Keep my enemies at bay and never leave without my fringes. 1611 with me cause I'm on a mission. Talking sheep, I pay the cost, me and my lines really live it. I don't need no glory, you don't have to know my story. Glad I made it out this world.
Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Israel. Welcome back to another Deaconstruction. I'm your brother Deacon Shamar, and to my left,
Deacon Kanash.
Khan. And tonight, we are going into a lesson called Like Everybody Else. I want to pull something up real quick. So, like everybody else, what are we talking about? We talking about Israel's need to be like everybody else. And how often and how many times it has destroyed our people, been detrimental to our people, counterproductive for our people, to the point where we forsake covenants, we forsake the promises, we forget the miracles because we're so hell-bent on being like everybody else. Let's open up with Deuteronomy chapter 7 and verse 6.
Deuteronomy chapter 7 and verse 6. For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God. The Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself.
So he said, for one, y'all are a holy people. I'm going to go into that definition real fast, right? 6944, H6944, Kodesh. A sacred place or thing, rarely abstractly sanctity, consecrated, dedicated, hallowed, holiness, right? Here's the Merriam-Webster. Exalted or worthy of complete devotion as one perfect in goodness and righteousness. Divine. Devoted entirely to the deity or the work of a deity. Having a divine quality. Venerated as or as if sacred, right? We sum this up to be, we're set apart. When the Lord was talking to Moses, he said, take your shoes off because the ground that you're on is holy ground. He's telling him this ground is not like the rest of where you've been walking. This space specifically and exclusively is special. So when you come over here, take your shoes off. The temple. There were plenty of buildings. It wasn't like this was the only physical structure on earth or in Israel. But there was something special about the temple that the Most High had placed his presence to be there. He said this is where he would be available and where he would commune with the priests and the people who came to inquire. It was set apart for a specific purpose and given a higher calling, given a level of divinity, and elevated for its use and cause. Read that again.
For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God.
And he said, we're holy people. We're a set apart people. We're a divine people. We're a sacred people. exalted or worthy of complete devotion as one perfect in goodness and righteousness. We're a holy people unto the Lord thy God. Go ahead.
The Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself,
Go ahead.
above all people that are upon the face of the earth.
And he specifies, if you don't know what that holy means, let me tell you, you're above all people upon the face of the earth. Because it's not just that you're set apart. A lot of times when we think about being set apart, we take the perspective of being left out. You're not left out. You're above those things. If you're royalty, you're not showing up to every gathering. You're royalty. If you're royalty, you're not sticking around in every environment. You're royalty. If you're royalty, you're not looking for acceptance. People are looking for it from you. But yet, what have our people done throughout our history? We always trying to be like everybody else. We sell ourselves short in being like everybody else. How many instances we've heard teaching and ministering on the streets? Well, what about this? What about the white man? What about the Asian? What about, dude, it's not for them. It's for you. You have a God. You have a higher calling. You have a purpose. All these other nations, they don't have gods. They have deities. They have idols specifically. They have idols. They have things that are products of their imagination. They don't have what we have, and yet and still, what do? We running after the other nations, after their customs, after their culture, trying to assimilate, trying to be accepted. Israel be pushing oftentimes, and maybe, not when you come into this truth, but for the most part, our people are always pushing we're all God's children. And the reality is that's putting you on sale. The other nations, that's a boost for them to be called a child of the Most High. That's an elevation for them. But for you to say that, oh, we're all God's children, you discounting yourself. Now you're less valuable because the reality is we're the chosen. Mm-hmm. We're the ones that are set apart. We're the ones that are different. He said above all people upon the face of the earth. So why we try to be equal? Let's go to 1 Kings chapter 8. We're going to get into a little bit of history, but it's just unfortunate how much time and time again our people have just desired to want to be like everybody else so much. Let's start off at verse 1. We're going to read 1 through 22.
1 Kings chapter 8 and verse 1. Then Solomon assembled the elders of Israel and all the heads of the tribes, the chief of the fathers of the children of Israel.
I'm sorry, I think I meant 2 Kings. Let me check. Hold on 1 second. What did I mean to get? Maybe, I think it was 1 Samuel. Yeah, I'm sorry, 1 Samuel.
First Samuel chapter 8 and verse 1.
Uh-huh.
And it came to pass when Samuel was old that he made his sons judges over Israel.
Uh-huh.
Now the name of the firstborn was Joel, and the name of his second Abiah. They were judges in Beersheba, and his sons walked not in his ways, but turned aside after lucre, and took bribes and perverted judgment.
Uh-huh.
Then all the elders of Israel gathered themselves together and came to Samuel unto Ramah, and said unto him, Behold, thou art old, and thy sons walk not in thy ways. Now make us a king to judge us like all the nations.
So, three things that came to my mind as we read this. For one, Samuel had sons. He was a righteous man. He did well. He went whithersoever the Lord had sent him. He was being dealt with since a child. Remember, when he was a little boy, he was laying down, and he heard somebody say Samuel, he get up and run in the other room. Hey, what's up, Dad? He said, I didn't call you, boy. Go lay down. He heard it again. Samuel, what's up, Dad? He said, I didn't call you. He said, you heard me call you? Yeah, I thought I heard you call me. He said, okay, this is the Lord talking to you. When you lay down this time, say, speak, Lord, for thy servant heareth. From a child, Samuel was being dealt with from the Most High, right? But then he had sons that were wicked, that turned aside, not just for anything, but for money. Everyone reacts differently to power, and everyone reacts differently to having money. And they had a combination, a very strong combination of the two, and they allowed their lusts to consume them. They wanted the money, they wanted the power, especially the money. Mm-hmm. And they ended up not only destroying themselves, but doing a lot of damage to their people. They perverting judgment. They messing up the people. So the elders came to Samuel and they like, hey, what we gonna do about this, bro? You old. You don't have much longer left. You can't judge forever. And Bishop Tzion says that a lot of times we think about our kids, we think about it's our time, then it's their time. The reality is you're gonna be alive when it's their turn. You're gonna reap, when the scriptures talk about you reap what you sow, you're gonna reap either the benefits or the consequences of how you raise your children, because you're still going to be alive most likely when they become adults. Mm-hmm. You had your kid at 20, you're probably going to be around for a good amount of time while they're adults. And you're going to see the way that they treat you, the way that they treat other people, what type of shame or what type of glory that they bring to your house, your name. And you're going to see the good product that you produced or the terrible mistakes you made. Because it wasn't like Samuel was dead and gone. You know, oh, your father died 60 years ago. You guys are, 70-year-olds. Nah. They might have been 40. He might have been 80. He watched them grow up, and they've been judging for a while. They like, Samuel, look, your sons have a terrible reputation. They're not like you. Before you die, before you go, what are we going to do about this? Because this can't stand. This can't be in Israel. Go ahead.
But the thing displeased Samuel when they asked, give us a king to judge us. And Samuel prayed unto the Lord.
And that's another thing, right? Why was Israel looking for a king? Because the judges wasn't working out. Why weren't the judges working out? Because they were wicked. It's very rare that someone's wickedness only affects them. It's a very rare thing that someone has a problem and it's like, oh, this is just like a self-inflicted wound. This is not going to affect anybody else. It affects a lot of people, especially when you get into positions of power. Your word means more than just the so-called average Israelite, so to speak. Your word means more than, just the neighbor. You're the judge. Your word's going to mean more than just the baker. You're the judge. Your word's going to mean more than, because you're a prophet. You're a deliverer of the judgments of the law. So they wanted a king. They said, look, this is not working, so we're going to try something else. Well, these other nations, they have kings, and it seems to be working for them. Let's try that. Samuel is like, it displeased him. Go ahead.
Verse 7, and the Lord said unto Samuel, hearken unto the voice of the people, and all that they say unto thee, for they have not rejected thee, but they have rejected me, that I should not reign over them.
And the reality is, it's more than just rejecting the wicked sons. That wasn't the only, this was an isolated event. Samuel has these two sons, but Samuel was righteous. So it's not like they've never seen righteous judgment, and it's not like having a judge has never worked. But people can change when they're put in these new positions and they're elevated. It can change the way a person thinking. You start to get a taste of luxury. I've seen that. I don't know if you've ever seen those like memes and stuff. It's like when I get a taste of luxury and I start to understand corruption. People make jokes out of it, but that's really how it happens for some people. Some people ain't never had no $2,000 dinner, $3,000 day. Oh, man, hey, this is nice. Man, they sent a car for me. I got to eat in this exclusive club. I was around all the millionaires and billionaires, and, man, I gotta do this. I got to do that. I got to go. Then you realize, oh, it ain't coming in the way that you hoping it is, and you want to get back to these certain spaces. They start, okay, well, Hey, the price went up for a council. The price went up for a meeting. I mean, I kind of see what you're saying, but not that much. How much? What package do you have?
Ultimately, they didn't trust in the Most High because Samuel, like you said, Samuel was still righteous. He was a righteous man, and had they trusted the Most High would have put somebody in the place of Samuel to continue to lead and guide them. So ultimately, their faith was just wavering. They didn't trust in the Most High.
And Samuel understands that, and the Most High understands that. But the people, they just see what's right in front of them.
Exactly.
And more than likely, I bet you that didn't come out of nowhere.
No.
Because they've had some success stories. But you know who they looking at? They looking at the nations round about them. Well, they have a king. That'd be kind of cool. Where's the influence coming from? It's coming from what they seeing. So the Most High said, okay, nah, do it, Samuel. Go ahead. Find them a king. Go ahead.
Verse 8, according to all the works which they have done since the day that I brought them up out of the Salakia. Verse 8, according to all the works which they have done since the day that I brought them up out of Egypt, even unto this day, wherewith they have forsaken me and served other gods, so do they also unto thee.
But again, where are these other gods coming from? What ways are they forsaken of the Lord? What are they doing in place of those ways? They going and finding things that the heathen do. And it just seemed like we was just like a moth to a flame with idolatry and with sin and with fornication. Just couldn't seem to break away enough to ever be effective at serving the Most High. Not for long. Not for long. Go ahead.
Now therefore hearken to their voice, howbeit yet protest solemnly unto thee, and show them the manner. Salakia. Howbeit yet protest solemnly unto them, and show them the manner of the king that shall reign over them. And Samuel told all the words of the Lord unto the people that asked of him a king. And he said, this will be the manner of the king that shall reign over you. He will take your sons and appoint them for himself, for his chariots, and to be his horsemen, and some shall run before his chariots. And he will appoint him captains over thousands and captains over fifties, and he will set them to ear his ground, and to reap his harvest, and to make his instruments of war, and instruments of his chariots. And he will take your daughters to be confectionaries, and to be cooks, and to be bakers. And he will take your fields and your vineyards and your olive yards, even the best of them, and give them to his servants. And he will take the tenth of your seed and of your vineyards, and give his officers to his officers and to his servants. And he will take your men servants and your maid servants and your goodest young men and your asses, and put them to his work. He will take the tenth of your sheep, and ye shall be his servants.
Now, he said, look, they want a king so bad? All right, go ahead and do that. But first, give them a warning. The Most High is still going to be fair, even though he said, look, it's not even you that they're rejecting. It's really me. Because this is how the Most High knows it should be set up. You know what has been a huge issue amongst Israel? And I'm not even just talking about this particular time. No isolated event in history. Israel, we get really big-headed. We get very prideful. And a lot of times our pride is based off of material possessions. It's a little more rare. Not that it's uncommon or just extremely unheard of. Not that it's unheard of, but it's a little more rare that someone has an attribute that makes them, really admirable, and they just think they're the best thing because of that. Because it's hard to be great. It's hard to be really good at something. Most of the time, people get some money. People get some power. People get a voice. People get a platform. And they feel like they so much more than what they are. That's why you got the YouTubers, the vloggers, the Twitchers, the Kick. And these is just random dudes that get a little money and they feel like they on top of the world because they out for themselves. But the Most High is showing them, look, you're going to go from basically a communist society to a capitalist society. You're going to change the very fabric of your community. Because right now, that there's something called the Commonwealth of Israel. Everyone was pretty close to the same level. Right. And everyone was invested in making sure that someone had. There were so many laws put in place so that there wouldn't be too much power, too much influence, and too much of one person having. Right? You had some of our wealthy forefathers, sure enough. But that's because the Most High would bless them, and it wouldn't be monetary. They would have a huge flock. So he would give them extra fertile sheep, extra fertile camels, extra fertile, sheep can have twins. We saw a bunch of baby lambs, a bunch of kids, baby lambs last week, and a lot of them were twins. That's how the Most High can increase one of our forefathers. And then that can get you resources, and you can acquire wealth that way. But as far as having a whole bunch of physical money and not a whole lot of assets like that, that wasn't really the common thing. That wasn't the thing that was going on in Israel. Everybody was pretty close to the same point. And the only people who had more, it wasn't really physical. They had more influence and more authority given to them by the Lord. Mm-hmm. Samuel, the prophets, the judges, that was more so someone who was above the rest, only in a spiritual sense. So imagine how our people are looking at, nobody's really rich like that. Nobody's really has excess like that. And the only people who are really significant members of the society are righteous men. Well, that would put a focus on righteousness. That would put a focus and a value on having a relationship with the Most High. And if you wanted power or you wanted something of that nature, you had to be even more righteous to get it, which more than likely, those two don't really line up like that. You can't. The scriptures tell you can't be greedy of filthy lucre and do this work. It tells you you can't be out for yourself and do this work. It tells you it doesn't work. Serve God or serve mammon. It's one or the other. You can't have two masters. So you have to choose which one you're going to invest in and put your focus and your efforts into. But then they want a king. And he said, tell them, this is the manner of the king that should be over you. He's going to take your sons. You know how you get to enjoy your kids all day, every day? Well, now you're putting someone in a position of power that has an interest and political interests. Well, he's going to need an army. It said he's going to take them for himself, his chariots, and his horsemen. He's going to build an army. He's going to make it out of your sons. Then it says, and he'll appoint them captains, and he'll take your daughters to be confectionaries, cooks, and bakers. Because guess what? It's not just going to be a family business or some small. Now, you got catering, you got royal banquets, you have big parties. It's not just what everybody's able to bring from their lowly dwellings to the feast. You're going to have a lot more business and commerce. So he's going to take your daughters and take them for those roles. That's your good government job, your good city job. Says, he will take your fields. Then, the king has need of this field. It's right next to the river. You know how the government can show up right now? It was a man recently. He found like a couple of $1 million worth of gold, or not even a couple of million. I can't remember how many it was, but I think it was 10 million plus. He found gold on his own property, went and told the government for whatever reason, and they came and took it all. Yeah, they came and took, I don't know how many millions from him. He said, you're putting someone in a position that their obligation isn't just to righteousness anymore. And you're giving them the authority to do these things for you. This king is going to take your fields. He's going to take from you. He's going to take your fields, your vineyards, your olive yards, even the best of them. He don't want the barely growing olive yard. He don't want the olive yard that's 2 miles away from the river. That's going to be hard to get water every day. What is it looking like? Well, he's got about half his field is barely holding on because he has to go back and forth 2 miles each way just to be able to get water. But he can't stop because that's the only way his family has anything at all. He's not in a position to change professions. He don't want that one. Oh, no. Oh, what about this one over here? Oh, yeah, that's been in the so-and-so family for 3 generations, 8 generations. Yeah, but it's right by the river. Yeah, my king. Yeah, tell him. Let me write this decree, put a stamp on it. That belongs to the king now. That's how simple it was. No one before this point in Israel had the authority to do that. The Most High wasn't sending the prophets to take land. He wasn't sending the prophets to commission cakes and bake. He wasn't doing that. It was the prophets and the judges under the authority of the Most High, save the unfortunate instance that they decided to be wicked on their own accord. He said, and guess what? Y'all ain't never experienced taxes up until this point. It's tax time right now. Some people are rejoicing. Some people are uncomfortable, gritting and grinding their teeth. Damn, what it's going to look like. And even though even if you get money back, you know what that's called? It's called a refund. This is money that they've already taken from you, and they say, hey, I'll give you some of it back, probably most of it, but there's some of this you'll never see. You paying the Social Security all your life. Do you get a big check if one of your loved ones dies before they're able to cash in on their Social Security? They keep the money. So they make it seem like they're planning for your future. It's little to no money that you can actually afford. You're like, damn, I've paid into this all my life. I'm sure y'all have taken more than what you're going to give me. And if I die, you're not going to cash my family out. I just have to pay tax. I'm just subject to it. I don't have a choice. Israel wasn't rolling like that up until this point. He said, when you get a king, he's going to start taxing you. You just introduce yourself to taxes. And you ask for it. He said he's going to take 1/10 of your seed of your vineyard. And he's going to take your vineyards and he's going to give it to his officers and his servants. Because he has men that he values more than he values you and your family land. Remember, he's got political interests. So he's trying to keep the squad together. He's trying to keep this group of men in his government supporting his interests. Oh, man, I can't let him go. What if I give you 5 vineyards? Okay. All right, go take that from that family. Give it to my officer. I want to keep him happy and make sure I can keep ruling this kingdom. This is the type of man Saul was. It said he's going to take your manservants and your maidservants. So now, you got servants. It's probably a lot more common back then because it was more about survival. He's going to take them. And then also, guess what? One of the biggest things that people see today in America, wealth disparity. There's a wealth gap. Richest man in the world can spend $1 billion a year, and then it'll take him 700 years to do it. Could you imagine that? $1 billion a year, and it would take him 700 years to do it. They say you could spend $100,000 every day since the time that Christ died, and you wouldn't have been at $1 billion yet. He's got 700 of those billions. But you create wealth gaps when you have a king who's collecting a tax, and he has to pay his men to keep them in good standing. And he's not going to pay the average person the way that he's paying someone in a higher position. Israel asked for this. And you know what? This is how all the other nations was getting down. They didn't have the same love for their fellow man that we did. And that's in our law that our Father desires for us to have. This is how the Most High wanted it to be set up without a king. And we saying, nah. We see all these other nations. Basically, Israel was just waiting for their opportunity to jump ship. As soon as something went wrong, hey, we want a king. It's like, oh, my goodness. Y'all couldn't wait to be able to hit me with that one. And lo and behold, you don't think the Most High seen what they was doing and had a judgment prepared and was giving them an opportunity, hoping that they would repent, hearing Samuel's words in their ears, trying to give them a chance to do right? You don't think the people that got done wrong, the Most High was going to rectify those things within their lives and probably already was? Hey, man, that's my goat. Man, let's take it to the judges. Goat go for about $400. I'm gonna pay this judge $150. I got me a free goat. Next year, that man might have twins, quadruplets. His herd done increased 3-4-fold. Most High might make it to where in the next 10 years, his lambs is gonna have all twins every year, and he's gonna have way more than he ever lost. People don't think about it like that. They just like, hey, I got an idea. Let's go be like everybody else. Go ahead.
Verse 18.
Uh-huh.
And ye shall cry out in that day because of your king, which ye shall have chosen you. And the Lord will not hear you in that day.
He said, and when it go wrong, don't come crying to me. This not even what I wanted you to do. Go ahead.
Nevertheless, the people refused to obey the voice of Samuel.
They got given a choice. They got given one final warning. Maybe they don't realize the gravity of what it is that they're doing. Maybe they don't realize the severity of the circumstance. Maybe you don't realize what it's going to look like after. Hindsight is 20/20, right? Everybody sits up here, makes a decision. If stuff be feeling right in the moment, it be feeling right, it be exciting. It feels like the right thing to do. It feels like the right thing to say. And maybe if it don't feel right, it sure is what I desire in this moment. I'm burning with this desire. They was excited. They were eager to get to this stage. And he said, look, instead of giving them hindsight and letting it be 20/20, I can tell you what's going to happen. Mm-hmm. You don't have to go through it. That's one. You know how major of an advantage that is as a people to know what's going to happen? To have answer from the Creator, the Almighty himself, and he can tell you this is how that ends and you shouldn't do it, or this is the right path and that's a great choice. Mm-hmm. What stress and worries do you have in life if all the answers, for the most part, can be given to you? You can inquire if your wife was going to get pregnant, because they did that with Jacob and his wives. Excuse me, not Jacob. Isaac and Rebekah, for Jacob and Esau. He went and said, hey, what's going on? Oh, you got twins, and there's going to be 2 men. He told her all about her pregnancy and who her kids were going to be before they were even born. And the younger shall serve the elder shall serve the younger. Cool, problem solved. So at least if you're going through some tough times in your pregnancy, you know why. You already have an answer. You already have a solution as to why it is that you're experiencing what you're experiencing. Should I go up to this battle? I don't even have to risk anybody's lives. Are you going to give us the victory today, Lord? He said, nah, don't do it today. Nah, don't go up there today. It ain't going to be good for you. Or absolutely go up, because I've already given them into your hands. You haven't even fought the battle yet, and it's won. You're guaranteed victory. Thus saith the Lord. I mean, they must have been riding out with smiles on their faces. On the horseback, smiling. It's easy. We know we gonna win. We know we gonna win. Few casualties, if any. So he gave them, hey, look, this is how it ends for you. And they said, nah, Samuel. Come on, we're so close. Give us a king. Go ahead.
And they said, nay, but we will have a king over us.
With all that being said, and you know what's crazy? Not only does that show their rejection of the Lord, that shows how selfish they are. Mm-hmm. You realize who that's really going to affect is your sons and your daughters?
Yep. Future generations.
It's going to affect your future. That was the first thing that he said. This will be the manner of the king that shall reign over you. He will take your sons. That was the first thing that he said. Think about your children. Because they're going to be the first ones to go. They're going to be the first ones that are affected. Mm-hmm. Some of y'all old. Some of y'all ain't got no, you ain't been trained up to be in these professions. But your kids are still young and malleable. Hey, young man. Yeah, how old are you? 16? You ever been a squire? No. Hey, look, come with me. I'm gathering young men to serve the king. From 16 up, oh, man, he going to be the best squire there's ever been. David was a youth when Saul made him his armor bearer. Set him in positions to be over men of war. And David was a man of war his whole life. He became excellent, unbeatable. Spirit of the Most High was with him and in his profession. Because the Spirit of the Most High could be on you, but you don't have to be a man of war per se. You could be a prophet and just be an excellent prophet. You might not have to kill nobody your whole life. You could just do amazing things and heal people and perform miracles, and it don't have to necessarily be war. But David, his spirit was more so geared towards war. And what he was doing from his youth is exactly who he became and a big part of his legacy. He told them, your kids they're gonna be the ones that get affected. He's gonna take your sons and your daughters. And then what you got, he want a piece of it. He's going to be uprooting you and moving you around and little to no consideration for what you got going. And they said, hey, hey, Samuel, give us all that talking, give us a king. All that talking stuff, give us the king. Go ahead.
Verse 20. That we also may be like all the nations.
That what?
That we may also be like all the nations.
Because that's their goal. They didn't care about everything that the Most High had done up until this point. They was willing to throw that out the window. They didn't care about the society and the success that we had had up until this point with the Most High's leadership. They didn't care. They said, come on, Samuel. Hurry up and get this king thing going so we can be like the other nation. That was their desire. In so much that they were willing to give up their sons and daughters to be like the other nations. Go ahead.
That we also may be like all the nations, and that our king may judge us, and go out before us and fight our battles. And Samuel heard all the words of the people, and he rehearsed them in the ears of the Lord.
Wait a minute. And that our king may judge us and go out before us and fight our battles. Who was judging us and going out before us and fighting our battles before this?
The Lord.
The Lord. The battle is the Lord's. They want to, but they're abandoning the Most High and the understanding that we have a God that goes out before us. You might not see the presence of the Most High, but you can see it when you get that victory. You might not, sometimes there was a physical manifestation of his presence, a physical manifestation of his glory. And you would be able to see, that the Lord, a cloud by day, and a pillar of fire by night. Oh, yeah, that's the Lord right there. Sometimes you can see it. Sometimes he would descend upon the temple, the tabernacle, and you could, the presence of the Lord is here. I can see it. And sometimes you would just win. Over and over and over and over, miraculous victories, beyond comprehension and beyond what we would consider logic. But we understand that's the Lord. They said, we want to be able to see who's leading us to victory. Just for, at the end of the day, just for who's leading you to victory. If he righteous, he going to say what? All praise to the Most High. What's the point? Go ahead.
And Samuel heard all the words of the people, and he rehearsed them in the ears of the Lord. And the Lord said unto Samuel, hearken unto their voice, and make them a king. And Samuel said unto the men of Israel, go ye every man into his city.
But they said, we want it. We want to be like everybody else. And it's crazy because I didn't put this in the lesson, but one of the things that I thought of when we was talking about, I think it was like 2 weeks ago on the list, the whole Epstein thing, which is crazy because it's starting to die down. Israel was doing these things at some point. It's written of in the Bible. The Most High had to put it in law and put it into effect. You shall not sacrifice your children to this God, this deity, this idol. Don't sacrifice your kids. And I was like, how do we even get to a point Well, we were sacrificing our children because we want to be like everybody else so bad. When all of these other nations were sitting up here sacrificing their children, Israel got to looking over at their young. Man, they seem to be doing good over there. They seem to be living prosperity. They seem to have it nice. And they said that all they had to do was give up one child. You probably, I got a favorite kid anyway. It's like, God, it was like, good Lord. We got to the point of sacrificing our children because we had learned that from the heathen. That should have been, I mean, come on now. A lot of it should have been enough. But that should have been really the point we drew the line. Like, hey, you know, sometimes I be wanting to fit in, but I ain't finna burn my child alive. Taking a baby and throwing them in fire before a statue that I just watched you niggas build a month ago. I'm not doing that to my kids. Call me weird, call me crazy, call me a conspiracy theorist. That's not a God, and I'm not going to that feast. I'm not partaking in that tradition. But Israel was glad. We had to be forced over and over again to stop doing that. Had to be forced over and over again to turn away from the idols. Because our people just desired so badly to be like everybody else. And look where it leads, and look where it has led.
That's how it was in the time of the Maccabees.
Yeah.
You read about Eleazar and how he decided not to take the route that they wanted him to take. You know, just being a respectable older man in Israel. I'm not doing that.
Right.
Eating the king's meat or whatever. The woman with the 7 sons. That was another one. Just here, offering the kid, like, I'm going to give you everything. You're going to have the best in the kingdom. I'm going to give you riches and fortune and fame. And if you just do this. And the mama was like, nah, remember the glory of the Most High. And that's what Israel forgot. The mama she stuck to it. They ain't sticking to it. They like, look, like you said, here you can have my least favorite son. You can have him.
And more than likely, they wasn't just sticking to the ones they didn't like. They was offering the best. Because they're like, oh, I got to be sincere in my offering. It's like, damn, you can do that for an idol, but you can't do that for your actual God? We always seem to give those that are worthy the least of us.
And then I like sometimes Israel be thinking like some of this stuff is too far-fetched, like the Epstein files and come on now, you think they really doing that? I read it right here in my Bible. Like even in Ezekiel chapter 8, it says, Son of man, turn again and see the wickedness that the elders do in the darkness, in secret. Wickedness, just total wickedness, and y'all think this stuff is as far-fetched. It's not.
It's been going on
It's
for
been
a
going
long
on.
time.
A long time. Long time.
And that the desire, the motive behind it, the driving force is one to be like everybody else. And that usually it's not too many times where you don't see it. Just like when you had mentioned the Maccabees, right? When Mattathias was living, the king's messenger comes to the temple. Well, obviously everybody there. Hey, the king's welcoming you into the kingdom. He wants us all to assimilate, yada, yada. Just, if you guys are willing to sacrifice an unclean animal, I got this pig. Sacrifice this, and the king will welcome you as a friend. Mattathias said, absolutely not. What are you talking about? I'm not doing that. And guess what? Somebody else was like,
I'll do it.
He was looking for his way out.
Yeah.
He couldn't wait to have a way to turn on the Most High and turn on his people.
Yeah.
The priests, it was a lot of them willingly going to, I'm going to forsake the priesthood and go play discus. I want to go to the NFL. I want to go to the NBA. It's like, dude, I wonder how many, of all the leaders that Israel loves, I wonder if a lot of these leaders got the things that they was looking for in the world that they couldn't get. If they got offered those things, how many of them would sign the dotted line? A lot of them already are signing the dotted line.
They don't have to sign the dotted line. Their actions just
Yeah.
they
That's what I
have to-
mean. They don't
yeah.
have to sign a contract, but they already willing to sell out because they
Right.
like the same way Samuel's sons was doing. Oh, I'm gonna get some lucre.
Yep.
I'm gonna get this money. I'm gonna be Israelite. I don't know. Can't be a filthy lucre. I can't be this type of man. Can't be that type of man. And I'm trying to get this money. I'm finna go live. I'm finna monetize my channel. I'm finna whatever it is that's gonna draw the people. That's gonna get me paid. I'm doing it. So you a street preacher on Saturday, and Saturday only, and then Saturday night you done went home, showered. Now you in the club. Type of man of God are you?
And then when you call it out, you over righteous.
Right. Be in the club, looking to fornicate. Oh, thank you so and so for the dono. Thank you so much for the donation, for the subscribe. But these are the leaders that a lot of Israel refuses to forsake because they look like the guys in the world that they want to be. They look like these worldly dudes that Israel is looking up to. And you know, it's another crazy thing about Saul. I wrote this one down. It said, you know, there was a time where there were sieges that were happening. There were wars that were taking place during Saul's reign. Saul was selfish. Remember Saul? They like, oh, Saul, like, hey, they here. He said, for real? They done already took all the blacksmiths. Can't nobody get a sword. We can't even make weapons and armor, and we can't even prepare for battle. Saul was like, damn, y'all ain't got swords? He pulled his sword out. He like, oh, y'all don't have swords. I made sure I got me a sword and my son Jonathan. I was like, damn, like, that's pretty wild. Saul made sure he was taken care of and his son was taken care of. Somebody running the house tonight, man, I'm going to cut him up. I'm going to cut him up. Well, your people can't defend themselves. They're helpless every time there's a raid. They're helpless every time there's a siege. They're helpless every time the enemies come. If you was able to get one sword or two swords, you don't think you could have got 10? Get a small elite group of soldiers together, man, we finna go get at least 2 of our blacksmiths back. We can at least get a couple of them out of the city of whatever, or whoever took them, and once all we need is one that can make swords. Even if he can make some crude swords, we can at least get, now that 5 men done turned into 10, 15, 20, 50. All right, let's lead another raid, another expedition. Let's get another blacksmith. He didn't devote his resources to that. He went and quietly made a deal somewhere, probably paid top dollar to make sure him and Jonathan was good. Hit me in my house. Oh, y'all probably don't need swords anyway, but quietly put this weapon of war in my little storage spot. Don't that sound familiar to something oh man. It's crazy. That years ago, a so-called leader in Israel. Oh, you don't need to worry about all that war stuff. You go to his house, it's like, is that an AR? I thought you said, oh, but you gonna make sure you got one. It's like, man, hey.
Tell us something we don't know.
Right.
You're going to keep us in the dark.
Right. Nothing new. And it's unfortunate. Let's flip over to the book of 1 Kings, chapter 12.
Not to mention some of his kids were like Samuel's sons.
Ooh. No, facts.
First Kings chapter 12. Yeah, it's crazy.
19.
1 Kings chapter 12 and verse 19.
Y'all know who it was? It was Rhyme.
Yeah,
Y'all know who it was?
your favorite leader.
And crazy because as much as Israel like these leaders, he's somewhere else. Brought in and welcomed in and trying to be chartered in.
Yeah.
12 and 19.
1 Samuel chapter 12 and verse 19. So Israel rebelled against the house of David unto this day. And it came to pass when all Israel heard that Jeroboam was come again, that they sent and called him unto the congregation and made him king over all Israel. there was none that followed the house of David, but the tribe of Judah only. And when Rehoboam was come to Jerusalem, he assembled all the house of Judah with the tribe of Benjamin and 180,000 chosen men, which were warriors, to fight against the house of Israel and bring the kingdom again to Rehoboam the son of Solomon. But the word of God came unto Shemaiah the man of God, saying, Speak unto Rehoboam the son of Solomon, king of Judah, and unto all the house of Judah and Benjamin, and to the remnant of the people, saying, Thus saith the Lord, ye shall not go up, nor fight against your brethren, the children of Israel. Return every man to his house, for this thing is from me. They hearkened therefore to the word of the Lord, and returned to depart, according to the word of the Lord.
So they were in a position to where the kingdom had split. Rehoboam, being in the southern kingdom, took some terrible advice. And he went out and he spoke roughly to the people. He was telling them he was going to make their burden worse. He was going to make their circumstance worse. And they decided, they was like, look, we don't have no reason to sit up here and be under your rulership. He tried to push it anyway. He sent a messenger to collect tax. They killed the messenger. They say, don't kill the messenger. They killed him. They was like, here's the message. He ain't coming back. They grabbed him up, stoned him to death. Then Rehoboam gets the idea, man, y'all not going to pay my tax? Y'all not going to respect me as a king? All right, it's time to go to war. Let's go to war. Hey, he got 180,000 men together. That's quite a few people. He gathered up a massive army and was going to go from tribe to tribe, getting Israel back under his control. And then the Lord intervened. No, you're not. This is going on, the split of the kingdom, he said, this is of me. Everybody go back home. They was like, damn, can't argue with that. Go ahead.
And Jeroboam said in his heart, now shall the kingdom return to the house of David. If this people go up to do sacrifice in the house of the Lord at Jerusalem, then shall the heart of his people turn again unto their Lord, even unto Rehoboam, king of Judah, and they shall kill me and go again to Rehoboam, the king of Judah.
And his interest was not what's best for the people. You just avoided massive levels of casualties. Hundreds of thousands of men, 180,000 men, were gathered up of two tribes to go to war. Even if they would have been defeated by the other 10 tribes, they were going to do some damage. You're not going to stop 180,000 men in hand-to-hand combat in one day. It's not going to be easy, and it's more than likely not going to be instant. He just avoided all this death and destruction. And the next thought that he has is, well, dang, what about me? If I sit up here and eventually Passover going to be coming up, man, the Sabbaths, 3 times in a year, Passover, Pentecost, Tabernacles. Hey, what happens during Passover and Pentecost? The people going to go down into the southern kingdom to the temple in Jerusalem. They're going to offer sacrifice, and then they probably not even going to regard me as the king because they're going to be thinking so heavily about Rehoboam as their king because that's where he lives. So he like, dang, how can I make it to where the people don't take away my authority and my money? It changes people. The authority and the money, it will change people. Go ahead.
Verse 28, whereupon the king took counsel and made 2 calves of gold and said unto them, it is too much for you to go up to Jerusalem. Behold, thy gods, O Israel, which brought thee up out of the land of Egypt.
The nerve. You going to take one of the most legendary stories in Israel and build this golden calf and say, hey, here are your gods. Y'all remember hundreds of years ago that we were brought up out of the land of Egypt? We've been told that story by our fathers. He said, these are the gods that did it. So you don't have to go to Jerusalem. You don't have to go to that temple. You can worship right here at home. I'm going to put one up here in Dan and one over here in Bethel. Just stay here. He let his own interests get in the way of the Most High's work, get in the way of the people's righteousness, get in the way of what was right for the people. And so much that he betrayed the Most High and started selling the people into wickedness and idolatry. Go ahead.
Verse 29, and he set the one in Bethel, and the other put he in Dan. And this thing became a sin, for the people went to worship before the one, even unto Dan.
Again, it's rare that our sins are our own. It's rare, but it's even more rare when you're in that position of power. He wanted the people to stay under his authority, so he started trying to appease what he thought that would keep them, even if it meant going against the Most High, even if it meant committing idolatry. Go ahead.
And he made an house of high places, and made priests of the lowest of the people, which were not of the sons of Levi.
And then it wasn't just like, all right, let me set up these temples, you go worship. He set up, idols and let y'all worship. He set up temples. Then he took low of the people. Now, it could be two things. On the one hand, financially, physically, they were lower. Yeah, that's one part. But also their character, their reputation, their actual, their leadership, their tutelage, their pedigree. These wasn't good dudes. And he made them priests, and they not even Levites. He didn't take the Levites that were amongst him. He's like, I'm going to establish a whole new priesthood. Because the Levites are like, dude, you know we can't serve outside of the temple. What are the Levites doing here? So he's like, all right, I'm going to make a whole new priest. You see how far he's gone against the Most High for the sake of his own power? Go ahead.
32. And Jeroboam ordained a feast in the 8th month, on the 15th day of the month, like unto the feast that is in Judah. And he offered upon the altar, so did he in Bethel, sacrificing unto the calves that he had made, and he placed in Bethel the priests of the high places which he had made.
So if you've ever noticed, the holidays are framed like the holy days, right? During the Feast of Passover, you got Easter, right? During the Feast of Dedication, you got Christmas. In fall, somewhere around Tabernacles, into summertime, that's when the camping culture is big. You got your Halloween. You got all these things that line up with what is in our spirits, or what should be in our spirits. So instead of the 7-month, 15th day, and you going to celebrate Tabernacles, he's like, oh, I'll just have a feast on the 8th month, the 15th day. It'll just be a month later. And this is when y'all come and you worship and stand before your gods. Go ahead.
So did he in Bethel, sacrificing unto the calves he made, and he placed Bethel the priests, and he placed in Bethel the priests of the high places which he had made.
Go ahead.
So he offered upon the altar which he had made in Bethel the 15th day of the 8th month, even in the month which he had devised of his own heart, and ordained a feast unto the children of Israel, and he offered up upon the altar and burnt incense.
So, one of the things from this, right? Where did he get them golden calves from? Not the money, not the gold, not the blacksmiths. Where did the idea of these golden calves come from?
It's always been a thing.
Let's go to Exodus real fast, though. Yeah, it always has been a thing. Let's go to Exodus chapter 32. Let's start at verse 1. Let's get 1 through 6.
Exodus chapter 32 and verse 1. And when the people saw that Moses delayed to come down out of the mount, the people gathered themselves together unto Aaron and said unto him, Up, make us gods, which shall go before us. For as for this Moses, the man that brought us up out of the land of Egypt, we wot not what is become of him. And Aaron said unto them, Break off the golden earrings which are in the ears of your wives, of your sons, and of your daughters, and bring them unto me. And all the people brake off the golden earrings which were in their ears, and brought them unto Aaron. And he received them at their hand, and fashioned it with a graving tool, after he had made it a molten calf.
A molten calf. Go ahead.
And they said, These be thy gods. Salakia. And they said, These be thy gods, O Israel, which brought thee up out of the land of Egypt.
Go ahead.
And when Aaron saw it, he built an altar before it. And Aaron made proclamation and said, Tomorrow is a feast to the Lord.
Look at that. He made them the golden calf, the same thing that they were just seeing in Egypt, the captivity that they were released from, freed from. Then he made him an altar. They wasn't doing temples. He couldn't set that up quick enough. So he go ahead and made him an altar. Somewhere you got to be able to sacrifice. You got to be able to cook. You got to be able to have food. We was just talking about that. How much you can bring people together because you got food there. You getting them to eat. And then, just like the same thing that Jeroboam did, he said, let's do it tomorrow. Yeah. Let's make the holy day of this Lord, of this God, tomorrow. And we'll just celebrate that. Yeah, that'll work.
And he said it's a feast to the Lord.
To the Lord, yeah, because he's saying, this is your God. He said, behold, this is who brought you out of the land of Egypt. They had just begged the Lord. Like days prior, begged the Lord and was looking for a salvation and looking for deliverance out of Egypt. Looking desperately. And it doesn't say how long they were crying unto the Lord before he finally decided, okay, I'm going to clean y'all up and get y'all back right. Was it was it all Israel at one point, or did the message spread? Did it take 10 years to spread to all of Israel to call upon the name Yahweh? Did they have to cry unto the name Yahweh 10 years after they got it right? We don't know. We just know they was in captivity for about 80 years. And that whole time, they were in rough bondage. And they finally got delivered. And the first thing that they did was turn their back on the Lord. We don't know what happened to Moses. It's like, dude, he ain't even been gone a month. Or it was 40 days and 40 nights. He ain't been gone that long. We eager to serve. We want to do something. And it's crazy because when he gives them roles and jobs and things of that nature, then it was so hard for everybody to acquiesce. Our people were just adverse. Didn't want to rest on the Sabbath, didn't want to follow the ordinances, didn't want to keep the commandments, didn't just fighting tooth and nail to not do right. That was the same practice that Jeroboam did close to 600 years later. So the ideology of this golden calf and of that being an idol or a god unto Israel, it never died out 600 years later. 600 years later, that's still amongst the people in their minds that golden calf is just around the corner. That's one of the first things that Jeroboam does as king. That's the first recorded thing that we see that he does as king in the Bible. He sits up here and builds golden calves. He was just looking for an excuse to jump ship. He just needed his reason. He like, oh, what should I do? How do I keep the people under my rulership? For one, you was set up by the Most High. A prophet told you was going to get the kingdom. You was going to get 10 tribes of the kingdom, the vast majority. Most High gave that to you. And the first thing he did was like, no, I'm going to turn my back on the Most High. I want to make sure stay in this position. Let's
Real quick, in Exodus 32, when Aaron said, "Tomorrow is a feast to the Lord," he's actually telling them that it's a feast to Yahweh. So it's a play on them, like, oh, for his conscience sake, like, yeah, I built this calf, but this is a feast to Yahweh.
Damn.
Crazy.
Let's go to Isaiah chapter 30.
Things we do to save our own conscience.
Isaiah 30, let's get 1 through 3.
Isaiah 30, chapter 1. Woe to the rebellious children, saith the Lord, that take counsel, but not of me, and that cover with a covering, but not of my spirit, that they may add sin unto sin.
So that's a lot of things of what you saw that these men were doing. You saw Rehoboam. Yeah, he got counsel from the elders. These elders were set up. The scriptures talk about the value of an elder, especially a righteous elder. It talks about the value of having those amongst the community, those aged men amongst the community, aged men and women. And typically, they were, what do you call that? Advisors. They were typically advisors to the king, to the judges. They were in prayer. They were examples to the people. So he had what the Most High had already set up for his father, Solomon. He had advice. He was like, nah, I'm going to go do this. Matter of fact, it wasn't even just that he wanted to do something random. He listened to his YN friends. And dealt treacherously with his own people.
The elders is the one who give you the game. So like, just as youngins, you come up, you don't know what's been going on in the past. That's why I think Job chapter 30 and 30, it says, seek out the old path and ask the elders, and they will tell you. Because you young, you coming up, you don't know what's been going on. The elders is going to put you up on game. So the elders in the community was there to let them know this is how things are supposed to be ran. And if you don't run it this way, you're going to get these results. And you either choose to listen or not. It's best for you to listen if you have wise elders.
Gone.
Yeah. That's not a shot to anybody.
He said but the thing is, right? Rehoboam didn't take the counsel of those elders. And I think it's safe to say, because you also saw that Moses, when he was leading, he was an elder man. Yeah. He was set up by the Most High. He wasn't no young dude like that. Yeah, you did have young prophets and young leaders, and they were no less effective at being great through the Spirit of the Most High. But Moses wasn't no youngin'. Moses was called at 40. He was already an older man by the time he really started judging and really ministering unto Israel. He was already a seasoned man when he got called.
I mean, he was brought up in the Horn of Egypt. Like, so you knew he knew how to speak their language and everything. So he was qualified.
Moses was wise enough to say, let me go take counsel of the Lord. Should we go up? No, we should we not go up? And then when he got his answer, he stuck with it. David was wise enough to go talk to his prophets, his advisors. Solomon, for the most of the time, was wise enough to talk to his prophets and his advisors. Excuse me. Rehoboam had advisors he didn't listen to, and Jeroboam, who did he ask counsel of? Because who told you to build the golden calves? He got that idea from way back in Egypt. It says, woe to the rebellious children, saith the Lord, that take counsel, but not of me. You're not praying on it. And mind you, They weren't in a time and a place. Like, our people are so removed from understanding the Most High and understanding the Bible, we've come up with sayings to cope. Because it'll drive you mad to think that God's not hearing you and there's no hope until you find the solution, which up until recently, most of us didn't have. So instead, they just came up with, I've been praying for 40 years, and most of the time, a lot of what I prayed for specifically, it didn't happen. Well, God works in mysterious ways. You come up with these sayings and these ideals to be able to try and cope. And that's not even in the Bible. He said, you asking counsel, but it's not even of me. Go ahead.
That walk to go down into Egypt and have not asked at my mouth.
He said, how do you know if I want you in Egypt? It could be something terrible taking place in Egypt, whether it be a plague of the Lord or it just be a festival that is against our God. It could be some judgment set forth. I'm going to go over there. I'm going to just go. Let me see what Egypt got going on. You're like, man, I was on the verge of just sending hailstorms to Egypt. Now I got to wait a day for you to be gone. You don't know what's going on. It could be anything. He said, you've asked, you've taken counsel, but not of me. You walked to go into Egypt. You walked to go down into Egypt. You haven't asked in my mouth. How do you know that's where I want you to go? How do you know that's what I want you to do? Mm-hmm. Egypt was always polluting our people. And why do you think Egypt did so much damage? Why do you think that the Most High always talks about the delivery from Egypt? Let's read on.
To strengthen themselves in the strength of Pharaoh.
He said, you're going down into Egypt because you're looking for what Egypt has to offer. Egypt was known for wisdom and understanding and knowledge. Wasn't it Alexandria, Egypt? The Library of Alexandria? It's Alexandria, Egypt, right? Mm-hmm. So when our people needed knowledge, our people needed understanding, our people needed counsel, our people needed perspective. A lot of times we don't even think I should go to the Most High and see what he thinks or what he feels or how he'll guide my life. They was like, dang, we need answers. We don't have a crop that's growing. Let's go to Egypt. They got the answer. Struggling with fertility? Let's go to Egypt. Trying to get the health? Go to Egypt. Trying to get herbs and figure things? Let's go to Egypt. Trying to know how to win wars and be victorious in battles? Let's go to Egypt. Man, we can learn anything in the library. And all the while, every page that you turn and everything that you read and that you're seeing, they implanted messages about their idols. Advertisements about their idols. And you like, dang, there's a part of you subconsciously that sees the success and kind of feels like they got to be doing something right. Mm-hmm. So when you see all these idols, you're like, huh.
That's exactly what it is.
Maybe if and that's exactly what our people did. They didn't even always have the resources to do it. But the moment that Jeroboam got the resources, he was like, oh, I know how I'm going to get them. Hit him with the classic, the golden calf, 2 of them. Hundreds of years after our delivery from Egypt, that hold on our people never died out. We had been out of Egypt's captivity for hundreds of years. 40 of it was spent in the wilderness around nobody, not back in Egypt and not in Israel. Then after that generation died off, we actually went into our land and started cleansing it. That took a long time, military campaigns and wars. Then when that happened, we're on our own, being governed by the Most High. But what's still there? That influence from all those years ago. Mm-hmm. Said to strengthen themselves in the strength of Pharaoh, go ahead.
And to trust in the shadow of Egypt.
And trusting in the shadow of Egypt. Feeling like they're covered. Feeling like, oh, this has got to be the way. Go ahead.
Therefore shall the strength of Pharaoh be your shame, and the trust in the shadow of Egypt your confusion.
Now you would think that this was enough to show our people like, oh man, we got to get away from this Egypt stuff. You would think his warning would have been enough to be like, We don't want a king. Trust in the shadow of Egypt to your confusion. People, it's crazy. I'm going to say something. Our people are confused. A lot of times. Trying to figure out life is one thing, but trying to figure out all these different things, you got all this stuff on social media, all these people's opinions. It's like we're so indoctrinated to the point where we police each other. You're not even in a position of authority. Nobody's paying you to come and say anything, and yet our people will still try to implant and implement and plant seeds amongst each other. You're not going to celebrate that? Celebrate Christmas? You're not going to do it for the kids? It's like, dude, these are my kids. How is it going to affect your kids if I'm not celebrating Christmas? Don't even live in your city. We police and indoctrinate each other. We're trying to build a community away from all of this. We're trying to establish ourselves away from all of this because what we see is exactly what was happening with Saul becoming king. He said it's going to really affect your sons and your daughters. You're going to get hit with the tax. You're going to get hit with the little off the top. For them, it's going to be it's going to change their life. Their whole life is going to be different. Let's go to Isaiah 5:13.
Isaiah chapter 5 and verse 13. Therefore, my people are gone into captivity because they have no knowledge, and their honorable men are famished, and their multitude dried up with thirst.
He said they have no knowledge. We always talk about the great war of ignorance. I want to get that definition. The state or fact of being ignorant, lack of knowledge, education, or awareness. Definition of ignorant. Destitute of knowledge or education, lacking knowledge or comprehension of the things specified, resulting from or showing lack of knowledge or intelligence, unaware, uninformed. Excuse me. A lot of times, we say our people are ignorant of the law, right? We'll go to this, Hosea 4 and 6, our people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. And we'll be like, it's the law, right? Our people just don't realize we need to keep the law, statutes, and commandments. And that's a part of it for sure. Let's go to Luke 23. Luke chapter 23, and let's get verse 34.
Luke chapter 23 and verse 34. Then said Yahushua, Father, give them, for they know not what they... Then said Yahushua, Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. And they parted his remnant, and they parted his raiment and cast lots.
He said, forgive them. They don't know what they're doing. Yeah, our people are, on one part, is ignorance of the law. That's more so what we're experiencing now. But when this was written, Christ was crucified by Sabbath observing, fringe-wearing Israelites. During the Feast of Passover, they were keeping the feast. They weren't ignorant of who they were. They weren't ignorant of the law, statutes, and commandments. They weren't ignorant of the Most High. They wasn't unaware. And like during the time of Josiah being the king, they didn't know. They came and showed him a book. He had to blow the dust off of it. Like, oh, he was reading it. He was reading the manuscripts, the early versions of the scriptures, and he was like, oh my God, we've been doing it all wrong. They knew. That wasn't their issue. They didn't realize the gravity of what they were throwing away. They didn't realize the gravity of what they were betraying, not just Yahushua in his physical form, but you're betraying everything that he's done. You're committing treason against your own king and your own nation. You're destroying your hope.
Rejecting the kingdom.
and who they were forsaken. That's why he said, forgive them. He said, man, there's no way they can make it right. Just please forgive them. We tend to abandon what the Most High has set up and ordained for us so we can follow Egypt. And it's not profiting our people in the slightest. The mentality, the ideologies, the money, it's not benefiting us. And it's crazy because this has been our longest captivity, because he said this time y'all gonna get it right, or you know, you're gonna get a lot better before I deliver you this time. Choose to call and turn back to the Lord. Choose to repent. And better yet, we've also had long enough to see this, captivity is terrible. Israelite mind, you know, there were captivities you read about that were like 18 years, 10. I think that's the shortest one that I can remember off top that Israel experienced, like 18 years. I think there might have been a 5 or a 10 somewhere in there. But 18 years, you know, that's like, imagine if you got told at 18 years old you had to work until you was like 36 and then you retired. That sounds like a way better deal than what we got today, right? Israelite would be like, all right, it's not that bad. We born in captivity. A lot of our people have died in captivity. This has been generation after generation after generation of captivity. This is the place where we're really in a space, like we really are getting to a space of making our minds up. Dude, this is not for us. We got to find a way out. We got to start doing something different. We got to establish a community. We got to do for ourselves. We got to get out of here. The benefits, the so-called benefits that they're giving us, it's not worth it. They're giving us convenience. Yeah, I can go 5 minutes up the street and to a grocery store. Food sprayed with pesticides, full of poisons. I'm living in a heavily congested area full of crime. I'm 5 minutes away from a fast food restaurant that's serving me terrible food, terrible quality. Yo, it tastes good. It's terrible quality. The conveniences that they give us is what's killing us. On top of all the other dangers I have to worry about. Oh, I got to watch out when the red, white, and blue get behind me. Man, I got to watch out for a lot of my own people. They make it seem like the city living is so great. And they sit up here and set up all this propaganda about separating ourselves from the city. The hills have eyes. Scream 1, 2, 3, and 4. You come up with these villains and these, you know, scary stories about going into the woods by yourself. Statistically, I'm way more likely to live next to a murderer in a city. I'm way more likely to live next to a criminal in a city.
Yeah, that's wild.
But you want me to think that the woods is scary and living on my own is scary, and oh my God, who are you going to call? There's nobody out here. Huh? Yeah, oh man, everybody loved the story of the Appalachian Mountains. I bet you all those conspiracy theories are made by people who live there trying to keep people away, that were smart enough to say, we got to probably keep ourselves from the rest of the world. Like, look who's in these communities. Are we doing good? My neighbors aren't law-abiding. I can go and talk to my neighbors about the Most High, and then it becomes a dry conversation, or it gets awkward. It just starts to, it don't stick.
It's really just all about keeping us in captivity, because they, like you said, they create all the propaganda behind certain things. Recently a lot of planes start crashing.
Oh yeah.
When black people start to travel and go abroad and start to go to Africa and the return and all. Oh, this plane.
Bros.
Passport bros.
Then it's, go ahead.
Planes start crashing out of nowhere. Like, I'm talking about the influx. And then it's like, I'm not flying. You see all them planes that crash?
Right. Because all they need to do, that's the thing about chasing a goal. All somebody needs to do is give you a reason to quit. Mm-hmm. And that's for a lot of people. I'm not immune. I can sit up here and observe. I'm not immune to realize, dang, this is what a lot of people struggle with. And there's ways I got to look within myself like, oh, dang. That's the reason why we got to get out of here. Because something, somewhere, the propaganda is going to work to some degree. And all they need is to plant a seed.
Yep.
You watched up, you grew up watching scary movies. It don't even seem like there's any good scary movies like that anymore. I don't really watch scary movies, but now they're more so all demonic. When I was a kid, it was all about the slasher movies. Am I tripping? It was all about the slashers.
Yeah.
It was all about the fear of the unknown. Then you got Final Destination, and you just got people in this worried, anxious state. It can happen anywhere, at any time, of these random circumstances. It's like, dude.
I grew up off the infomercials. You see the African kid with the snotty nose.
Oh yeah.
And you think that's just you seen the kid with the snotty nose, and you seen like just the village in the hut. And then you seen the safari, and you thought that was all
the angel.
And that's all you see. You're like, I don't never want to go there.
That's what's out there?
Yeah.
Well, these people ain't got no food. They ain't got no shelter.
It's all to keep you in captivity.
Yep.
To keep your mind here. Don't you think to go anywhere else. But stay here and make this money.
And we more comfortable with the familiar evil. Even though it's the worst evil, it's familiar. Because at least when I know it's a bunch of people around me, and I know it's probably a killer around, well, I know I got locks, and we're more afraid of being alone. Well, someone could be out there. It's like, bro, come to Watts. I'll show you where the niggas at. I know where they are. Come to Compton. I'll show you where they are. Come to Gardena. Come to Hawthorne. You can see where they at.
They right there.
You can go into the valley. Yeah, man, you can go into the Mojave Desert. On the damn. Oh, man. It's like, damn.
Yeah, it's wild.
You know it. You see what's in these cities and what's in these places. And it's crazy because, again, we're so used to the chaos, we just learn to adapt. And it's a familiar evil. The sirens all the time is a familiar evil. The shootings is a familiar evil. Everybody knows. Some bullets start flying. What do? Get down. Can't outrun a bullet. You get trained as a child. This is what you're supposed to do when the shootout starts. At least that's how it's been in L.A. I was trained like that. I know you got trained like that. You ever had that training from growing up? It's ghetto.
You're raised to live in chaos.
Yeah, you're raised to survive.
Yeah.
It's no different than them people in the Middle East. When they hear that, they know a rocket's coming. Everybody hit the deck. They all know destruction is coming. Somebody about to die. That's the same thing if you go house parties. You ain't even got to go somewhere. You could be in your own house. You hear somebody, hey, them sound like some brothers arguing. I hear some Israelite voices. It don't matter if you hear some fool. It don't matter if you hear that or if you hear nigga on the damn. Uh-oh. It's instinctive. Let me get low. Let me go check the window. They up there acting. I'm gonna just go sit in a little lower chair. You get in the recliner. Let me just get lower in general, because even if it don't pop off, let me just be prepared. 4th of July, everybody like, is that fireworks? Gunshots.
Which one is it?
Right. Then they got the fireworks be sounding like gunshots. It go boom, boom, boom.
Yeah, you
boom,
wait.
boom, boom.
Yeah, that's what you waiting
Yeah,
on.
I'm like, oh wait, is that? I was like, oh, they've been when they start making them like that. They've been doing that one for years. I'm like, man, this is crazy. But we'd rather stay here in that. Oh, I know that street's dangerous. You got a whole route planned out. It's crazy. That's what they teach in espionage. I talked about that last time, that whistleblower, the CIA guy, John Kira, whatever his name is. He's everywhere on the internet right now, right? He do a surveillance detection route. Take a different route. Learn how to get to work and get home, and you can basically detect if you're being followed. We know all the back streets. With a brother not too long ago, man, you want to go up Normandy?
Yeah.
That ain't the street to go down. Not at this time. All right, well.
The sheriff is all up and down.
Yeah. He like, oh, no, don't go that way. But that's the stuff that we've learned. If you went out into the countryside on a dirt road, what are we worried about? If I went and moved into the woods or into the mountains somewhere, and hey, you know what? This is where we're going to establish our community. We're gonna go into the mountains of Montana, of South Dakota. You know, Esau. It's like I said, our people. That's why we get shown so much stuff, because not everything clicks with everybody, and Esau understands that. So they put out everything they possibly can, because somewhere I'm gonna get you. Yeah. Some people not afraid of the slasher movies. I know some people, they would watch that, they'd be laughing. I'm like, oh no, this person's, you sick. That ain't what gets them going. What gets them going is the demon movies. So that then they'll sit up here and be thugs and not scared of guns and knives and gunfights but they can't stand having a doll in the house. Man, I swear, I think it just moved. I'm like, but guess what? The violence didn't really bother you. The gore don't really bother you. But the little creepy stuff, that's what gets you. So they just put out everything that they possibly can. They flood everything. Man, we sit up here, you could get on the King James Bible online. It got ads popping up all over. I said, God, if I left my Bible at home, I got a Bible app on my phone. I'm like, talking to somebody, ad pop up. I'm like, God, man, whatever you want, whatever, because they want you to either find something you can't leave or a fear that makes you freeze.
We got to learn to really like just detach. Like we even have this thing where as we come into the truth, we try to remix stuff. Yeah. And yeah, some things you can, but it's like at some point, bro, just let that go. Just let it rest, and continue your journey in this truth. Yeah. Come on. But that's what created slaves. Right. Being dependent on this system and not having a way out. Well, having a way out, but don't want the actual way out. You want to be 1 foot in and 1 foot out.
And the same way to what you're saying, Harriet Tubman said that she has a famous quote, I freed 1,000 more. I freed 1,000 slaves, and I could have freed 1,000 more if they knew they were slaves. Mm-hmm. A lot of people don't want out. Yeah. This is nothing new. So it's just like, dude, best thing you could try to do is to just separate. Mm-hmm. When the scriptures talk about come out of the world or come out of Babylon, our people be like, oh, we got to go to a different country. What country is not being affected by Babylon? Right. What country is not being affected by capitalism? Right. What country is like, come on now. No, you're not going to be able to, you're going to be hard-pressed to find a space in the earth that's unaffected by that wickedness. And then guess what? I bet you're still going to have Wi-Fi. Mm-hmm. If you got unlimited access to the internet, you got unlimited access to Babylon. You got your Netflix. You got your adult content. You have everything that Babylon has to offer minus what can actually reach you physically. Let's go to 2nd Ezra, chapter 1. Oh, yeah, it is 2nd Ezra, chapter 1. Let's go to 2nd Ezra. We're going to start at chapter 1. Oh, I was reading the wrong chapter. That's why. I'm in chapter 2.
I thought that was Ecclesiastes. That's why I was like, what?
Oh, okay. Kind of. Chapter 1. Let's start at verse 1. We're going to read this whole chapter.
Yeah. 1st Ezra, chapter 1, and verse 1. Uh-huh. And Josiah held the feast of Passover in Jerusalem unto the Lord, and offered the Passover the 14th day of the first month, having set the priests according to their daily courses, being arrayed in long garments in the temple of the Lord. And he spake unto the Levites, the holy ministers of Israel.
Oh, you're in First Ezra. Second Ezra chapter 1.
Salakia.
It's all good. Second Ezra chapter 1, and we'll just drop down to verse 4.
Verse 4.
Uh-huh.
And the word of the Lord came unto me, saying,
Uh-huh.
Go thy way, and show my people their sinful deeds, and the children their wickedness which they have done against me, that they may tell their children's children,
Uh-huh.
because the sins of their fathers are increased in them, for they have forgotten me, and have offered unto strange gods.
How many times have we heard that one? Offered unto strange gods. It's just over and over and over. From fresh out of Egypt, barely even being a nation, way hundreds of years later to being established, all the way up until Ezra's, even further. Our people we just always go with the idolatry. Always going with the love and the cares of the world. Go ahead.
Am not I even he that brought thee out of the land of Egypt from the house of bondage? But they have provoked me unto wrath, and despised my counsel.
Why does the Lord always mention Babylon and Egypt? The Lord that have delivered thee out of Egypt, delivered thee out of Egypt. Behold, these are the gods that delivered thee out of Egypt, out of Egypt, out of Egypt, out of Egypt. He always, because why? Those aren't the only captivities the Most High delivered us from. He delivered us from every captivity after that. And those are far from the only miracles he showed Israel. Yeah, we've seen some legendary, amazing miracles in Egypt, but those were not the last. He could have said, it is the Lord that called down chariots of fire to consume his offering. He could have said, it is the Lord that cast great stones upon Sodom and Gomorrah and have destroyed he could have said that every time he mentioned his name. He could have said, the Lord that by the hand of a youth killed a giant and saved Israel. He could have said it was the Lord that delivered you out of the hand of Haman. He could have said it was the Lord that delivered you out of Babylon. He says those are few. See, there may be other mentions, but not nearly as much as I see Egypt. Not nearly as much as he mentions Egypt. The Lord that delivered thee from the Cyrus and the Persians and the Medes. We always see Egypt. The miracles is one part, right? Egypt is the only captivity I see our people in where they just didn't fully leave. No matter how many years went by, it was Egypt and Babylon. They never left. And that's where we get sayings like, oh, you could take a nigga out the hood, but you can't take the hood out the nigga. Mm-hmm. You can take an Israelite out of Egypt, but you can't take the Egypt out these Israelites. You could take an Israelite out of Babylon, but you can't take the Babylon out that Israelite. In our minds, there's always that remembrance or that semblance or that desire in our people's minds to want to go back to Egypt or to want to be like Egypt, to want to partake of the ways of Egypt. And some of our people love Babylon so much, they didn't even leave. It went from the Babylonian captivity to the Babylonian exile. Some people, they got word that they could go back home. They got word that they could go back home and rebuild their society. And they was like, why? When everything I need is right here in Babylon. Why would I want to go out there to that land and start from scratch when I already got a nice house in Babylon? Why would I want to go out to that land and rebuild the temple when I already got somewhere I can pray in Babylon? Why would I want to go out to that land and I got to figure out what I'm going to eat? I got stores right here in Babylon. Our people love Babylon so much that they would rather have gone with the familiar evil. And they didn't want to separate themselves from Babylon. All them years of captivity. Babylon is the same place that Daniel and his colleagues were taken as from youth. to be able to be raised up and used for Babylon's purpose. Our people knew that was a risk for their children, and they probably were hoping the same way that they hope here today. You hoping your kids become super successful, because then it gives you a break. Oh man, I'm gonna be in a way better space. Once he make it to the NFL, once he make it to the NBA, once she get that good job, our people be hoping that our seeds are gonna be able to be successful enough in Babylon to save the family. Like, dude, you don't realize how destitute of hope that type of thought is? And yet, when they got given the opportunity to go back to Israel, they refused. We good here. Go ahead.
Pull thou off then the hair of thy head, and cast all evil upon them, for they have not been obedient unto my law. But
You have 1 in verse 7? Oh, Con, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
but it is a rebellious people. How long shall I forbear them, unto whom I have done so much
He
good?
said, man, because that's the thing. We're trying to prove ourselves to the Most High. And the crazy part about it is, even though he's the Most High, and even though Yahushai is Yahushai, he still proves himself. The Most High not only created us, that's more than enough to say you owe me respect. He said, look, I'm a guide you, protect you. I'm going to bless you. I'm going to love you, clean you up. I'm gonna not only give you prosperity, but I'll defend you against these other nations. I'll deliver you from your captivity. I'll save you when I hear your cries. He performed miracles in Egypt, and they would say all these things were happening to the Egyptians and none unto Israel, even though he knew what we were getting ready to do out in that wilderness. Even though he knew our people were haughty and were going to be a problem, he said, I'm not going to give them the plagues. Most High been proved his love and his devotion, his integrity, his discipline, his long suffering. Look what Yahushai has done. Ben proved his love, his devotion, his integrity, his discipline, his long suffering. We're the ones that are in question. And yet and still, he said, dude, how long do I have to bear these people? I've done all this stuff for you. Y'all can't wait to give my accolades and my accomplishments to somebody else. Imagine if you saved somebody's life. You saved somebody's life. Man, you saved my life. Then next week, I go and throw a feast for some rent. You be like, I'm like, man, this dude saved my life.
I'll be like, never again.
Right. Like, what? I put my life on maybe I didn't put my life on the line. The Most High, he can't die. Yahushua can't die the way that we die in the flesh. Okay, so it wasn't the mortal fear up until he came as Yahushua and gave his life like that. But that's not what they really, but it's like, dude, look at the effort. You don't think it took consideration? I guess that's what we do with powerful people. We discard their efforts. Mm-hmm. You don't think that it took effort to deliver our people?
It's like they're supposed to do that.
Right. Yeah. It's almost like you're supposed to, and that's not the truth. Mm-hmm. He doesn't have to deliver us, and he doesn't have to be there. He chose to do that. And if it took him 6 days in the creation to make everything, you best believe it takes planning and orchestration to perform miracles. And he said, but for my people, I will. I will judge the nation that you're in. I will free you from your captivity. I will hear your cry. I got something planned. That takes a lot of effort. On the 7th day, the Lord rested. He took a break. This is going to be set up between me and my people. On the 7th day, we rest. You don't think that was a lot of effort that he had just finished putting into creation itself? We just be like, oh, wow, look at that. You don't think it was plans? Matter of fact, you can go and look into astrology. Astrology or astronomy? The study of stars? Astrology, right?
Astrology.
There's constants.
Astronomy.
Is astronomy?
Yeah.
I think it's astronomy?
It's
okay, astronomy. I think astrology is the horoscopes,
yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. Astronomy. If you look up, like, really prominent physicists and astronomers, they would say that initially science takes you away from God and eventually it proves that he exists. There's constants with every planet. They're so perfectly balanced. They're so perfectly placed. There's certain things that it was numbers that they did math, and they were like, wow, this planet has, and it was consistent with all the planets. It was consistent with all their cycles. There's consistencies. It was like, this had to have been by design. It's impossible that this stuff would be random. Because if it was random, if all the planets were, created in the Big Bang, and they were flying at random velocities and got caught by the sun, that would mean some years it would take them longer to come back around because they was flying in one direction before they got caught in the sun's gravitational pull. There would be some kind of inconsistencies in that level of chaos, but there's not. All that creation, all that effort, and he says, I gave and I have this ready for my people. And for all that, look at what we continue to do to our God. The mistakes that we make, and just even more so, the lack of willingness. Maybe you're going to make mistakes. He gave us a sacrificial law. It's almost like, I don't want to say a fail-safe, but I think he could have anticipated that after Adam, that there were going to be some level of forgiveness that was going to be present and was needed in the relationship. But the willingness to do, a lot of times that willingness means a lot. Mm-hmm. That means a lot. You're dealing with somebody that's broken, that just can't seem to get right, but you can see that they just really sincere, that they wish they could be better. It helps ease the blow. He said, how long do I have to deal with these people? Go ahead.
Verse 10, many kings have I destroyed for their sakes. Pharaoh with his servants and all his power have I smitten down.
I should just let you read. He said, look, I put in the effort. Look at the work I done did for y'all. Go ahead.
All the nations have I destroyed before them, and in the east I have scattered the people of two provinces, even of Tyrus and Zidon, and have slain all their enemies.
Go ahead.
Speak thou therefore unto them, saying, Thus saith the Lord, I led you through the sea, and in the beginning gave you a large and safe passage. I gave you Moses for a leader, and Aaron for a priest. I gave you light in a pillar of fire. Great wonders have I done among you. Yet have ye forgotten me, saith the Lord.
Mm-hmm. He said, I did all this stuff for you. I didn't forget y'all. And then think about it. He had to have thought, well, once I deliver them, it ain't going to be random. I have a leader for you. A leader that he was dealing with even before he delivered the people, that he was preparing to deliver the people. Moses wasn't just like, hey, guys, I guess we have to kind of pick a leader. I nominate myself. The Most High had already chosen him. You're good. I see the qualities in you. I'm going to set you over my people so that you can be a judge. And your brother, he's going to be the priest. That was planned and orchestrated. And the Most High started setting things in motion even before the rest of the people were even aware that freedom was on the horizon. He called Moses to the burning bush. He started building him up and exhorting him. And then guess what? He took Moses and separated him from the people and showed Moses miracles on an individual. He proved himself to Moses so Moses would know he was really dealing with the Most High. And built his faith up, showed him signs and wonders. So now Moses is moving with a different level of confidence that the rest of the people have not yet experienced. That's preparation. He trained a pupil. He trained a student to be able to deliver his people and then guide and lead and protect them. Go ahead.
Thus saith the Almighty Lord, the quails were as a token for you. I gave you tents for your safeguard. Nevertheless, ye murmured there.
He said, I gave, and I threw a little extra in there. Y'all was already eating manna. He said, y'all want quails. He said quails. Go ahead.
And triumph not in my name for the destruction of your enemies, but ever to this day did ye yet murmur.
And he said, you guys still aren't thankful and excited of the miracles that I performed for you. You still complaining even after everything I've done. That's what the Most High is saying. Go ahead.
Where are the benefits that I have done for you? When ye were hungry and thirsty in the wilderness, did yet not cry unto me, saying, Did ye not cry unto me, saying, Why hast thou brought us into the wilderness to kill us? it had been better for us to have served Egyptians than to die in this wilderness.
He said, not only was y'all speaking against me, but there you go again with that Egypt stuff. You ever hear somebody sit up here and go against your plan so many times? It's like, you really frustrated? Egypt. I'm pretty sure the most high probably don't even speak that way. You're probably like, man, Egypt. F Egypt. I don't give a damn about no Egypt. He don't get down like that. He composes himself. But I know he's sick of hearing Egypt. I know he's sick of it. He like, what? Look at all that I just did for y'all. And y'all want to go back and be, you'd rather go back and be a slave than be free with what I'm giving you. And I'm giving you free food, free water, free shelter. Y'all don't even have to work. Man, you just got to have a good time with your people. Treat your people right. And once a week you come and y'all all worship the Lord. And sing songs and thanks and praise saying thank you for this victory and thank you for this life of peace. He said, but in them same tents that I gave you to be able to safeguard yourselves against the weather, the harsh, and the rain and all that stuff, he didn't tell us, huddle together like penguins. You'll make it through the night. He gave us shelters. And he said, but it's in them same shelters that I provided. Y'all murmuring against me. The nerve. Go ahead.
Then had I pity upon your mornings, and gave you manna to eat. So you did eat angel's bread.
Angel's bread. He didn't create a crop out there and plant, hey, 30 years ago I prepared all this corn so that you guys could, and 30 years ago I had a couple of sheep run away and there's a flock. He said, I'm going to just feed you every day. It's going to rain food.
Bread and bird.
Bread and bird. What else do you need?
Bread and bird, baby.
Cloudy with a chance of meatballs. It's raining food. And all you got to do is gather a little bit of it up, get what you need, and feed your family. If you was a man, you know how you got to go out there and work and provide 40, 50, 60-hour work week doing construction. It was dudes out there that was like, yeah, man, I haven't seen my kids. And I'm like, bro, I don't know how you doing this.
Right.
But you made $3,000 last week. Yeah, but what's the point? You don't have enough time to spend any of it, and your family don't see you.
Hey, give me the bread and bird.
Right, give me the bread and bird.
Give me the bread.
I'll take the bread and the bird. I'll take some bread and some bird.
Yes, sir.
I can be with my family. I wonder how many, man, I don't even want to get personal because it's not a slight. But think about in this land how many fathers have missed their kids' first steps. How many fathers have missed their kids' first words? How many fathers are sitting up here so occupied and trying to survive and provide in this captivity, I think I said that twice, that they missing out on watching their kids develop. And you just get home and the baby walking, oh, damn, I saw you take your first few, or I saw you been standing up these past few weeks, but I can't believe I wasn't here.
And the nerve of people to just want you to be a slave, like, nigga, you need to go. Now, I'm not saying that brothers shouldn't, man, you need to have you a job, but it seemed like people just be like, if you don't work, then
right.
you just.
It's like something
why
wrong
can't
with
you tell me to create a business?
Right.
So I'm not clocking in to somebody else's job and building up their wealth in their kingdom when I could be building wealth for my own lineage.
Right.
But you won't, because you have the pleasure of seeing me work. You ain't got to do that. Just go get a 9 to 5.
Right.
No, I'm gonna do this hustle until it catch.
Right.
All I got to do is be consistent. Just like you consistent on your job, and if you're a good employee, you get promotions and stuff like that. That's if they want to give it to you.
Right.
But I'm guaranteed to have success if I focus on my business.
Esau don't have a problem going out there and figuring that out.
No, you don't.
And Esau, man, they could be smoking drugs and recycling copper. Mm-hmm. And his woman out there, babe, I've seen some good pipes. Mm-hmm. I think we can get them. She gonna support the dream.
10 toes down.
She gonna support. Mm-hmm. You'd be hard pressed to get an Israelite to support you not being a slave.
Right.
But like I said, we police and indoctrinate each other.
Right.
It's sad. Let's continue on. Once we get through this chapter, we got one more scripture, and then we're done.
Thus says the Lord Almighty, Salakia, I divided. Oh no, here we go.
20.
Verse 20.
Uh-huh.
When ye were thirsty, did I not cleave the rock,
Uh-huh.
and water flowed out to your field? For the heat I covered you with the leaves of the trees.
Ain't that crazy? Because I was just saying, oh, he didn't plant a crop. But he said he had to have grown those trees.
Mm-hmm.
And he knew my people are going to go through here. So I'm going to have these trees grow so that when they walk through this wilderness, they're not just unbearingly hot. They just can't bear the heat. They're not dying off a heat stroke and all that other type of stuff. He thought about everything. You know how much planning and preparation that takes? I don't care if your husband don't make the most money and he give you a humble date. You didn't make peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. You went to the park. He done got every detail lined up and he just wants you to experience it. Oh, we don't have much, but I got you this little peanut butter and jelly sandwich. I went to Dollar Tree and got this candle to set the mood. He's working with what he has because he has a sincere affection and a love for you. If we're made in the image of the Most High, how much further do you think the Most High goes for Israel's sake? When he said, my thoughts are not your thoughts, my ways are not your ways. My ways are higher. And I liken Israel to a comely and delicate woman. He said, it's like a man doing for his wife. We went into that about a month ago. A man go do all type of stuff and come break bread with his woman.
It's crazy. It seemed like they had the best in the wilderness.
Yeah.
Like you got water from a rock. You got good alkaline water.
Right.
You want to be in the city and drinking water that don't have no type of substance to it.
Wasn't no microplastics in that water.
Right. Nothing in there. Trees. You got trees to cover you with leaves. And now you in the city and you in a brick building.
Right. Ooh.
You walk outside your gate and all you see is another apartment building, another house, no trees. They was living it up in the wilderness.
Right.
But this is what Israel did not appreciate this. We still don't.
Right. Go ahead.
I divided among you a fruitful land.
Uh-huh.
I cast out the Canaanites, the Perizzites, and the Philistines before you. What shall I yet do more for you, saith the Lord?
He said, what shall I yet do more for you, saith the Lord? That's powerful. Go ahead.
Saith the Almighty Lord, when ye were in the wilderness, in the river of the Amorites, being athirst and blaspheming my name, I gave you not fire for your blasphemies, but cast a tree in the water, and made the river sweet.
And then he said, you know how many passes I gave you? He said, I gave you not fire. Y'all sitting up here in the river of the Amorites, blaspheming my name. Oh, I can't drink. He said, instead of being like, oh, I'm sick of them, boom. And he said, all right, let me just go ahead and fix this problem for you. Go ahead.
What shall I do unto thee, O Jacob? Thou, Judah, wouldest not obey me. I will turn me to other nations, and unto those will I give my name, that they may keep my statutes. Seeing you have forsaken me, I will forsake you. Also, when you desire me to be gracious unto you, I shall have no mercy upon you. Whensoever ye shall call upon me, I will not hear you, for ye have defiled your hands with blood, and your feet are swift to commit manslaughter. Ye have not as it were forsaken me. Ye have not as it were forsaken me, but your own selves, saith the Lord.
Because he said, ultimately, y'all who lose. The Most High, he's disappointed, but he's not really losing from the relationship when Israel disobeys. We need him. He don't need us. It's only because of his love that keeps him going, the desire to make it work, covenants that he's given to our people, that he continues. But he like, dude, you're really just destroying yourselves because I don't have to be with you. And if I'm not with you, remember, the rest of the world hates you. Without me, they're going to get to you. And that's what y'all do. Go ahead.
Thus saith the Almighty Lord, have I not prayed you as a father his sons, and as a mother her daughters, and as a nurse her young babies, that ye would be my people, and I should be your God, that ye will be my children, and I should be your father? I gathered you together as a hen gathereth her chickens under her wings. But now, what shall I do unto you? I will cast you out from my face.
Look at the analogy he used. The love and sacrifice of mothers, fathers, nurses, even he said even the animals. You see how if it's raining outside and there's a chicken and she has chicks, she'll sit out there in that rain. She might have a small space where she can huddle up and mostly get out the rain. But if she got her babies with her, she gonna make sure I can't get half my body under that log and leave my babies out here. I'm gonna suffer the rain so that they can be okay. He said, I did this for you. This is how I've treated you. Go ahead.
When ye offer unto me, I will turn my face from you. For your solemn feast days, your new moons, and your circumcisions have I forsaken. I sent unto you my servants, the prophets, whom ye have taken and slain, and torn their bodies in pieces, whose blood I will require of your hands, saith the Lord.
He said, dude, I don't even want nothing to do with y'all. I don't want to see y'all coming in for the feast. I don't want to. It's no point of you even keeping my customs when you don't respect me, acting like you're doing these things for me. And then he says, and when I gave y'all my servants the prophets, because the prophets give you warning. That's why we say correction is true love. That's real love, because I'm keeping you from death and destruction. Yo, brother, you keeping me from death and destruction. What greater love is there than that? And he said, them the people that y'all killed and slain would rather have released a murderer than release the Christ. Oh, man. Let's go ahead.
Thus saith the Almighty Lord, your house is desolate. I will cast you out as the wind doth stubble. And your children shall not be fruitful, for they have despised my commandment, and done the thing that is evil before me. For your houses will I give to a people that shall come, which not having heard of me, yet shall believe me, to whom I have showed no signs, yet they shall do that I have commanded them. They have seen no prophets, yet shall call their sins to remembrance and acknowledge them.
Listen to this. Go ahead.
I take to witness the grace of the people to come, whose little ones rejoice. I take to witness the grace of the people to come.
Whose what?
Whose little ones.
Whose what?
Whose little ones.
Whose what?
Whose little ones.
It's the little ones.
The little ones.
Not only from that generation to the generation now, because guess what? He's talking about us. He said, that generation, he's talking to them directly, but then he says, I'm going to give your houses to a people that shall come. He hasn't done away with his people Israel, but he's dealing with a whole different generation of Israelites a long time later. And different times throughout history, he's given chances to our people to repent and to be at one. He said, they have no prophets. We don't have men the same way that our forefathers did that can directly connect with the Lord and show these things. They was able to say, thus saith the Lord, and you knew it was true. They was able to show you prophecy. They were able to give you answer. Man, I'm telling, and like I said, from all these different things. My wife's struggling with her pregnancy. What's going on? You can get an answer. I fear she may have been unfaithful. You can get an answer. My crop is not yielding the way that it should. You can get an answer. Should I go up to war? Should I go in this fight? What should I do in this situation? The judges, the prophets, people are dying amongst us. What's the problem? Before anyone else dies, how do we fix it? You can get an answer. You know how many people done died here in this captivity and we don't even understand what's going on? And for a long time we didn't. Imagine if you're on a course to hell and you can go to a priest or a prophet and say, how does the Lord feel about me? I don't know. Sometimes I feel so unsure. Sometimes I feel so confused. I just always have this trouble in my mind I can't seem to shake. I always just have this inkling that something is wrong, and I feel like this level of guilt, even though I'll strive and really do well, and I have these long spurts where I'm doing great. And if I make a mistake, I can see in the scriptures it's not unto death. Plus, they're fewer and far in between because I'm working to really improve myself. How does the Lord feel about me? I'm really trying. And he could say, you know what? You got to let go of that guilt. The Lord finds you acceptable. Oh. Or the Lord, thus said the Lord, you can cut off this one thing and you're good. Oh. All right. Now we're talking. Remember the man that went to Christ? Good master, what good thing shall I do that I shall inherit eternal life? He said, you keep the commandments. He said, I'm already doing that. He said, all right, go and sell your stuff. Come and follow me. Even though he chose not to do it, he was given a direct answer right then and there. He said, the people I'm going to give all this stuff to and all this beauty to, he said, they don't even have prophets the way you have prophets. They don't even have messengers the way you got these messengers. He said, yet they're going to call their sins to remembrance. We don't need somebody to come along and say, thus saith the Lord. We can read in Deuteronomy 28, oh man, we experiencing the curses. This is judgment for our disobedience. We need to repent. He said, which not having heard of me. We didn't hear. Now we got the Bible, but we didn't hear to the same degree as, oh, I was there when the sea parted. I saw with my own eye. We don't have that amongst us. Even the artifacts that our people had, they had the sword, they had artifacts. They had the sword that David had. They had like Goliath stuff. They had artifacts and keepsakes from the battles and the things that the Lord had done in Israel. You was able to take your kids to a museum and show them. Go ahead.
Whose little ones rejoice in gladness, and though they have not seen me with bodily eyes, yet in spirit they believe the things that I say. And now, brother, behold, what glory, and see the people that cometh from the east, unto whom I will give for leaders Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Oseas, Amos, and Micah, Joel, Obadiah, and Jonas, Nahum, and Abeka, Sophonias, Aggius, Zechariah, and Malachi, which is called also an angel of the Lord.
He said, I'm going to give this to them little ones that's coming. Because there would be no point for the Lord to take all those great prophets and those great men and give it to the generation that he was looking at. There was no purpose of giving them great prophets, because look at what they had done with the prophets up until that point. He said, what I'm going to give y'all these leaders for, so you can kill them? He said, I'm going to wait. I'm going to send them through your children, and they'll be leaders unto your children and leaders unto their children. And for those that will really rejoice in the Lord, he said, them will I give all these things to. It's like being in a rough relationship. And you start to learn things about yourself, like, you know what, I know I got some things I got to work on, but I'm not doing that to you. I'm not doing this, or whatever the case may be. And you start to realize, dang, I done gave myself to someone that's not appreciative. That's why a lot of first relationships, they come with heartbreak, because you learn a lot. And it's unfortunate that we don't have a structure in a society set up to help, or we haven't had for a long time, because we're rebuilding it now, a structure of society and a council to be able to guide and protect our marriages. We haven't had it for a long time. So a lot of us went out there and did what we did and got heartbroken, and then you start to realize, man, I can't just give myself to anybody. I want to find somebody that has qualities similar to mine, that can add value to my life the way I can add value to their life, that can do for me, and even more so is willing to do so. I'm not asking you something unreasonable. I'm not asking you for something unrealistic. I'm asking you for something that I think is safe to say I'm worthy of. That's how the Most High is looking at his people. That's how most men is or have at some point looked at in their relationships. And then you say, you know what? The next time around, I'm going to make sure I do this, this, and that. And all praises to the Most High. Now we have councils built up where we can get educated. We have, I guess you could call it group therapy here with our marriages. We all come together. We discuss things as a community. I'm talking about here at True Nation, where we can discuss things as a community. If you 20 something, you getting married, you don't have to be in that journey on your own. You don't have to ask ChatGPT and get on Instagram and try to find reels and you have older experienced men that can guide and counsel you, that have willingly offered themselves to do so. That willingly offer their time, married for about as long as some of us have been alive. And God answers and can help and can give you guidance. And then you got elders that can give you success stories. This is where we came from. You would have thought it would have never turned around. Here we are. Look at our children. They're successful, not just financially, spiritually successful. They're good men. They're quality men. Look at how much of an impact they're having in the community. Look at how much of an impact they're having with their people. It's a lot. I'm going to end it there. All praises to the Most High. Hope this has been edifying. I know we went over a little bit with the time. But I hope this was edifying. You know, I hope that we were, that there's something to be taken from it. And please continue to tune in with us as our classes go out and our classes continue. Tomorrow, 2 p.m. Pacific Standard, you have Bishop Yazikel, War for the Kingdom. And at 4:30 p.m., you have Bishop Josiah Wan, Feed the Sheep. Shalom.
Shalom.
If it wasn't for the Most High who was on my side, man, ain't no telling where I'd be. Mr. Wilson would've known. Can't nobody tell me nothing different. The Father's been good to me.
So good to me.
Yeah. Wave your hands if you feel me. I'm a witness. Yahweh's been good to me.
So good to me.
Every morning that I rise, I thank Yahweh that I'm living. Keep my enemies at bay and never leave without my fringes. 1611 with me cause